It's Dr. Chad Prusmack is the.
I was trying to type as I talked, but Dr.
It's
Chad.
Not Rumsack.
not Rumsack, Prusmack. I think the question on where you sit with Eichel's health is a big part of this discussion. If you're not sold on his health, then you aren't going to want to give up anything that's going to weaken your team, even if you are adding Jack Eichel and in whatever context you get him in, whether it's 6-8 weeks after he gets the surgery or what. Also, where do you stand on what surgery it sounds the better for him? And for me, one, you have to go, if you're interested in this Eichel thing and you haven't listened to that 31 Thoughts interview that Jeff Merrick and Elliot Friedman did with Dr. Chad Prusmack, go listen to it. It is absolutely enlightening and shines a light on what the issue is. And one of the major issues is the more proven surgery for hockey players and athletes is the disc fusion surgery. But the newer one, which has been around for like 20 years, is the disc replacement surgery, and that's what Jack Eichel wants to get. But it hasn't been done on an NHL hockey player before. So the biggest worry for the Sabres is they do not want to be the guinea pigs. But what I took from that interview was that the percentage of chance that the spinal fusion surgery doesn't take and properly and you need to go in and get another one within 10 years is about 25%. While with the spinal replacement surgery, based off all the literature and everything, the percentage of chance that it doesn't work and you would end up having to go and get a spinal fusion surgery is 8%. So not to mention there's other things about the fusion adding more pressure to the discs above and below where that happens to help to potential, which can aid in creating more problems down the road as well. So whether or not where you sit on Jack Eichel's health really is going to steer how you look at that and where you're going to who and what you're willing to give up for him. I'm just seeing a comment here from James talking about the Sabres do not need a 31-year-old player in Tanev. I think this is more of a hypothetical discussion more than anything else in terms of where you value where you value players and what you're looking for and what and where you're valuing Jack Eichel right now. So I think I understand where Kevin's coming from in valuing Chris Tanev really highly. Everyone who's listened to me talk about Chris Tanev knows how high I am of him. But when you have the opportunity to get a franchise center, I wouldn't have him as untouchable, because it's right now what the rumored ask from Buffalo from Vegas is Riley Smith, Peyton Krebs, Nick Hague, and a first. So that's 3 younger assets plus an NHLer. And I think that's when things are all said and done with all these issues behind Jack Eichel, I think it's going to be more of a 2 or 3 piece package where you're going to get a protected first, as well as a NHLer and then a not one of those blue chip prospects that everyone really not if it's the Flames, not a Zary, not a Peltier. It's going to be someone a step below. So in my mind, and I said this is all hypothetical. Say the Sabres do want Chris Tanev, and they're asking Tanev, Emil Heineman, who is the former second round pick that they acquired in the Sam Bennett trade, and a protected first. And I look at that and say, is that something that I would say no to based off of just Chris Tanev? No, I can't, because you're going to do your due diligence on where Jack Eichel is, and if you think he's still going to be a top line center, maybe not a franchise center, but still a top line center for the Flames, you take that every day of the week, in my opinion. And
to just before Chris goes here, Gene Guy, my favorite dude, says that he has a no trade clause. He does, but he's giving the Flames a 10-team list who he doesn't want to get traded to, and Sabres might be on that.
Chances are high it is that they are on it.
Yeah, considering where the Sabres are in the standings, that probably would be one of the teams that Tanev would have on his no-go list. That being said, I'm with Sean on this one in the sense that it's not a guy that I would want to give up in a trade, because I do value him in the same way that Kev and Sean both do. That being said, if that was the ask, I'd be willing to part with it. Just I wouldn't be happy about it.